Hi everyone, this is Finnabair from her studio and we are going to do our next mixed media minutes. Well, we are getting ready now. We are going to make something I would call oversized tag or maybe vintage decor that you can hang on the wall. So the plan is to create something nice and maybe with a little bit more of the vintage feel. You don't have to use the photo, of course, but I have some special photos that I really wanted to use. And well, I think you will enjoy it. And I'm just going to go through the products to start it all, and I will do my project together with you so you can see everything step by step. So here's our project. This is what we are going to do today. So I was working on the piece of canvas that I took out. It's really a page from the book that you can buy at Michael's. This is the one. Prima made this canvas book and there are canvas pages inside, and one of these is my base. So what you have here is combination of the plastic pages. You can use them as sleeves for your projects, and then there are nice sturdy canvas pages. So my idea was, because I always make my things so dimensional, it's going to be more like banner, and I will put 3 projects like that together on my wall. So I'm going to hang it like this. So as you can see, there is a nice vintage photo. This is my adopted family. I adopted them in Glasgow about 3 years ago. I found a full album of family photos, and they seem to be such nice people. So I just wanted to have them as part of my family. So now they are. And what we are going to use, so you know about the page from the book. This is the book. Then we are going to use again art mediums, mixed media essential. This time we are going to use modeling paste, which is white and flexible and sticky. We are going to use white gesso, and we are going to use soft gel. These 3 to start. Then let's look in the box. I'm going to take 1 or 2 cards from the ATC card box. Again, I'm going to use some metal embellishments, my mechanicals, and this time I'm going to use some resins. Next one, the art stones in 3 sizes for extra texture. I'm going to use the stencil from the stencil and stamp set. This is called Flowers on the Deck. So this cute stencil is going to be my background. And finally, we are going to use metallic paints. This set is called Medieval, and it has 3 beautiful colors. This is emerald, then there's royal red, and then there's this beautiful blue color. Maybe you'll see it better here. It is called Deep Waters. And then again, emerald green. And I have also royal red in this set. This set is available at Michael's, 40% off, just to remind you. And of course, if you are away from United States and Canada, you can find them in the single pots in your local craft stores. So don't worry. There will be some mysterious ingredients also, so I hope you will like it. I almost forgot. We are going to use some paper flowers. These are the flowers I have from Michael's as well. But I also have some other flowers ready here. And I have some shells. In the meantime, I've got my tea infusion. This is just very strong tea, like this. You can see many tea bags in 1 cup. Yeah, and I have another family photo, the same very lovely family. Some thread, some lace. So I think we are ready to start. So let's have a look. First of all, we need the page from the canvas book, and I already started adding some gesso on the top. I didn't put much, but I simply took my heavy white gesso, I took a brush and I added a coat. Gesso is to stop this canvas from absorbing the water, and also added a little bit lighter tone. Gesso is basically like insulation in the tube, so it's stopping all the inks and paints from soaking into your background. This is really useful because my next step is going to be adding texture. I'm going to use modeling paste and the stencil. So modeling paste is not really very liquid, but if you plan to spray or you would like to put some ink on the top, your canvas would absorb a lot. So it is already dry, and if you look at the project, this is the texture we are going to create now. So I need my stencil. This is the one from the set, which is called Tea on the Deck. And please remember, these a little bit bigger sizes, they were available in the local craft stores as well. So please don't be sad that you are not able to get it if you're away from United States and Canada. If you are not from there, it's okay, you can still have it. I'm just taking some of the, well, protection is also important, right? So let's put the mat first. Okay, that seemed to be a good idea. Okay, direction is not that important, it looks more like crackle anyway. I'm just going to use this as a palette. How beautiful. Almost like toothpaste consistency. Modeling paste is a little bit different than gel medium because it is going to stay white after drying. Of course, you can add color to it and it's going to create lovely mix, but remember the color will be always a bit lighter because of the white color of the modeling paste, of course. It's also very sticky. That's why you can use it for gluing your elements, and that is what I'm going to do myself, because why changing the glue when once I have very good glue here. And this is going to be just perfect project to use some modeling paste. Important information, after using your stencil, it's important to clean it. Don't wait too long because it's going to dry and it's permanent, so it's going to be hard to remove it. I keep the leftovers of the modeling paste to use it as my glue. And what you can put into modeling paste, you can put, for example, metallic paints to create the colorful version of it. And you can also put mica powders, you can put acrylic paints like in pasta, whatever you like. Okay, so the texture is ready. I can dry it now with the heat gun, or if you were like me and you just want to work fast, you can start sticking right away. I love layers, so you can see there are many layers under my embellishments, and some of them are just simply fabric layers. You can't see them now, but believe me, there are pieces of lace everywhere. And you can just start your composition, if you have no idea, by cutting your lace into smaller bits. And if you like that idea of adding a little bit of the decor on the bottom of your tag, you can stick it now. I have some lace for that purpose, so I'm just going to use modeling paste as my glue, and I'm going to stick the lace on the bottom. Yes, hello everybody, I'm very happy that you are here, and I hope that you will enjoy the project. It's a little bit longer than last time, so I hope you will forgive me, but it's very hard to make something fast for me. I just enjoy putting a lot of layers, so for me it's very hard to stop. So if somebody is simply too tired, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. Okay, so we have the lace on the bottom. I'm just going to cut it off, and I'm going to start with some basic layers in the place I would like to put my photo later. If you want extra protection, you know, you can always add a couple of staples, because why not? It looks very lovely with the vintage projects. Okay, so now you can see I'm just using small pieces of the it's like leftover lace, and the photo is not very big. This is like this cute size of the vintage photos that we had in family albums, and this is original, but I have a scan of it, so it's really safe. I'm going to play with these layers first. I'm trying to create some horizontal and some vertical lines which are going to create nice texture. And again, I'm using the same, very same modeling paste as my glue. And you don't have to make it perfect. Remember, nobody will really see it later if you don't want to. You can cover that with something else. Just playing with the textures. That's a nice piece. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining us, and I can see we have really lovely crowd. It's over 100 people now, so you know, I'm very, very proud to have you all here. I hope you will like the project. So far we used modeling paste to create the background. We used the stencil from stencil and stamp set called Tea on the Deck. And now I'm using the same modeling paste as my glue for the texture. And I can check from time to time with my photo how much of the background I'm going to see in the future. And because I know I'm hopeless and I put so much embellishments, I just have to be a little bit more generous with lace, so I will see it later. If you feel guilty that you are sticking so much, just use little scraps. And how do you clean stencils? Well, I try not to kill them right away, which means if they are completely dirty, I just try to soak them with water, and some washing powder sometimes helps. You can try with stain remover. That is the last trick I learned, but the best solution is just to wipe them just after using quickly, and then the problem will go away naturally. I don't really believe in any special liquids for, you know, cleaning them. I just think the best results is just, you know, cleaning right away. Let's see how it works. A little bit more on the top and on the bottom, I think. And a bit more modeling paste because I'm running out of the glue. Okay, so a little bit more here and a little bit more there. I'm trying to use different kinds of lace, so it's a mix of synthetic and cotton, so they will absorb color a little bit differently. It's going to be nice to see how it works. This piece here. Ta-da! It's just masterpiece. Well, the truth is you won't see much of it, so it's just to create texture and to start playing. Now, once we have this composition done, again, you can dry it with your heat gun if you want to, but you don't have to, because we are going to dry it all completely a little bit later. Let's see how much spice we have, right? This is more or less the plan. And now we are going to build the layers on the top of that, okay? Just to show you how dimensional the project is. There are many layers, and I'm going to put at least 2 or 3 pieces of cardboard to lift the whole composition up. So on the top of that all now, I'm just going to put my first piece of cardboard to add a little bit more of the dimension. So you can see it's going to lift my photo. And then I'm going to add some papers, and papers will be cards from the ATC set. So I'm just sticking that on the top. Yeah. I'm trying to put the photo more or less in the middle. It's a little bit closer to the right side, but it's going to be perfect, as you can see. Yes. And now some cards. Just trying to pick maybe not the same letter. Maybe I will need it in the future. Okay. So I just need some smaller pieces. So I'm going to rip it in 2 or 3 pieces and add it just exactly where I need it. Maybe one on the top, one on the bottom. Yeah, I need something on this side. I can slide it here. You can see I'm using the photo to measure how much space I will really see in the future. This is my way of doing things, and I really work using intuition here. Of course, I'm going for general balance, but I try just to go with the flow. I'm not overthinking, because overthinking just takes so much time. Just to give you another ideas what you can use for the layers. These are leftovers of the canvas I cut off to make the page more square. And this is resist canvas, so you can easily rip them or cut them in small pieces and use them to make composition like that. So it is just my way of doing things. I think I will just add a tiny bit of texture, yeah, here, because they look just perfect this way, I think. Lovely. Now, bigger embellishments. I told you that you can use anything you can find. My plan was to use some of the metal embellishments. These mechanical ones, these ones, they are from the set which is available at Michael's, Steampunk Gears. And of course, you can also use any other embellishments you like. So this was from this set. I'm also using some of the resins from the resin set. I really like this big one. So that's my plan for today. Well, maybe just in case I will take the small one, because you never know, you may need more. Okay. Now, how to arrange it. First of all, I will start with the fluffy stuff. The elements that will be dimensional, and they will add the volume to the project. And my favorite way of adding the volume is just packing the project with different kinds of embellishments. For example, you can use the thread. Thread is really cool solution, and you don't have to worry that it's going to be something expensive. Most of people have the thread at home anyway, so I'm just taking a lot of thread to create almost like spider web. Okay. This is quite thick. I'm going to use 2 or 3 pieces. So sticking a bit here. And again, of course, I'm using the same modeling paste. I'm very simple when it comes to the gluing solutions. If I don't have to change the glue, I won't do it. So more of the modeling paste. And let's do a bit more here, maybe under the paper layers. Okay, so far we have the background done with the modeling paste and stencil. We added the lace, and now we are adding the pieces of thread for extra fun texture. The good part of that is you can always rearrange it later. If you don't like it, just hide it under the layers and it's going to be all fine. Again, checking. Yeah, that looks very promising and really messy, which somehow, in my opinion, goes lovely with the vintage style. And I'm going to start adding the embellishments now. So for example, what kind of embellishments you can add? Flowers, because because we are of course all in love in Prima flowers. And there's this set which you can buy at Michael's, 40% off this week. And there are some flowers which are really nice sizes that will be perfect for working as a bigger focal point. Some of them are really big, and you can see what I've done. I just cut one of the flowers to put it in here, and you know, hide a little bit hidden under the photo. And this is my plan. Again, I'm going to use the other half of the biggest flower to create the texture that is going to be later a bit hidden under the photo, like this. Yeah. And I'm going to use some other medium-sized flowers. You can look at the paper roses, the small one, the big ones, whatever you can find to create something quite balanced and nice. So I'm going to start here and just add this rose in between. I'm just building a cluster, and you can see how I use modeling paste. This is just like a big blob of gel that goes just in the blue blob of paste this time, that goes directly in the place where exactly I want to have it. I have some flowers on this side. I will need something on the opposite side. I can try putting this little flower in. Yeah. If you have these ones or even single petals, you can also use them easily just to add the texture. Doesn't want to go, no problem. Yeah. I'm still wondering how it's possible that Prima ever invited me to be one of design team members, because what I do really, I destroy everything, including flowers. I do destroy those beautiful paper flowers, and I paint them black and I cover them with gesso, and I just do all this terrible stuff. I should probably be, you know, banned completely from using them, but somehow it works. It works, so if it works, it's fine. At the same time, I'm going to add some of the embellishments. Sharon, thank you so much, but I really always remember this look on the face when I cut the flowers in pieces. Okay, I'm adding also these ones the same way. I just slide them under the layers so they will be partly visible. Okay, so maybe one here, then for balance, one there. Yeah, it's almost like building a big triangle using embellishments. And then maybe one here. So you can see every time when I add elements, I put quite a lot of paste or gel. Okay, that works. So now, of course, the photo won't stick like that. We need to put another layer of cardboard to lift it up a little bit, maybe even a little bit more. So it's going to go nicer like this. That's a good trick. And we will have some places we'd like to hide because they are not perfect. So let me show you some more tricks. The plan is to use this big rosette, but I would like to use it in two places. So sorry, I'm going to break it in half, okay? More or less in half. Yes. Half flowers and half mechanicals. That would be a really interesting project. I'm quite good in destroying things anyway. And there are some special ways of doing that. So, you know, I'm quite good in destruction. This rose goes out, this one goes in, and then the rose goes back. Let's have a look. Yeah, that looks really nice, I think. Okay, so we have the embellishments in, and again, well, you could take your heating gun and dry it, but because I know these photos were taken very close to the sea, I want to add some special ingredients, so some of the seashells, for two reasons. I'm going to add also the art stones, and they look almost like those these little stones or sand that you can find on the beach. They're just beautiful. They're just beautiful for that reason. So if you look closer at the final project, you can see these clusters finished with art stones. This is one of my favorite effects, and I would like to include that in my project. Okay, so I hope we have no problems so far. I will show you how it is before adding anything. It is quite nice because we don't have any odd colors. Everything seems to be quite neutral, but this is not always the case. Sometimes we have some really strange colors in the composition, and then you can always add some gesso to color them if you want to. Now, okay, where to put the shells? I think one shell will be just perfect here, and again, huge blob of modeling paste. Yeah, and trying to stick it as nicely as possible in the corner. And if you can see a bit of the space, no worries, we are going to use art stones later anyway. And then maybe something here will be just perfect spot. The same, not very sophisticated technique of gluing. Okay. A bit more down, I think. Let's see, stay there. Yeah, that looks quite promising, I think. I have this tiny shell, maybe I will put it in here. Well, two halves are better than a whole. Yes, that's very true. Because with two halves you can make the composition in balance. I'm just trying to... It's almost empty now. It's hard to squeeze the tube with just one hand if it's almost empty, so please forgive me. Okay. So as you can see, I was cutting flowers in half. I was breaking embellishments in half. I was using some found objects like shells. For some of us this is easy to get, especially if you are like some ladies who are watching today. You live close to the beach, so I encourage you to go and collect some beautiful shells for that purpose. And well, if you can't go and just collect them, of course I'm sure you will be able to find them in the stores. I'm just taking now the last ingredient, art stones in 3 sizes: mega art stones, and mini art stones. What does my nickname mean? It doesn't mean much because it's Celtic female name from the ancient times, and it was a name of a princess. And princess was the daughter of important Irish queen who caused a huge battle between 2 provinces. But she herself, she was not important. So I heard it means white spirit, but I just took that name from the book because I was really frustrated when I was trying to set up. A unique nickname for the message boards, and everything is taken when you are called Anna Dabrowska like me. So it was just not possible for me to get something connected to my real name. So you can see the art stones in 3 sizes, and these are the big jars, but in Michael's you have the chance to buy them in this cute kit. You've got mini, regular size, and the mega ones in one package. So this is really cool. And now we need to be a little bit more precise with application. We need to go a little bit more into detail. So big lumps of modeling paste won't work anymore. We need something more liquid, and that's why I am getting soft gel, which is liquid. Transparent gel medium will be easy to apply with the brush. It is also included in the same set of Art Basics Mixed Media Essentials. So we are using modeling paste today, white gesso to start the project, and we are using soft gel, so 3 tubes from this set. I'm going to use a bit of the gel, and I will stick my art stones in the places, and I'm using just old brush for application. If you like it, this is really perfect craft glue. And if you are missing your favorite craft glue, you can easily refill empty bottle with the soft gel, or you can find this fine tip and use it for precise gluing. This works brilliantly for any scrapbooking or journaling. You just play with that the way you like. It's very good glue. And if you would like to see more of ways of using soft gel than not just gluing the embellishments, you can easily go to Finnabair.com, and then in video tutorial section of the website you're going to see a lot of videos about soft gel, and there are very nice techniques including transfers, including resist, or just inky layers technique, which was very popular years ago, and now it's coming back in the journal pages. So, you know, just saying, it's quite cool. I'm just adding here and there the embellishments, and I'm putting quite a lot of gel and sticking the biggest art stones first, so they have a chance to stick, really. Okay, and then I'm going to sprinkle the regular size and the mini ones. So it's basically now adding a lot of gel, giving the chance to my art stones to stick. And I also add some of the gel on the flowers, so there will be extra texture on them later. Okay, well, I'm very happy we have so many people watching, because it really means that you wanted to see my little vintage project. I was trying to find the name, what that really is. I think it's a really oversized tag because you can hang it. And this is the moment when you have to decide how far you want to go, because sometimes it is very addictive and you will sprinkle quite a lot. Also, the more you're going to put the art stones, the longer the product will dry, because there's a lot of gel. So if you are in a hurry, it's better not to go too much into gluing these, but they are absolutely addictive. Absolutely addictive. Something that it's basically going on every project. And if you will go to, again, to Finnabair.com, my design team keeps using them on basically every second project. So I'm very happy. Oh no, rain in Finland. Well, Rika, I feel so sorry for you, because finally we have nice weather. I was hoping it's happening the same. I know from my friends and family in Poland it's still beautiful. So we were waiting for the spring for so long. We want finally to enjoy it. Okay. So I'm sprinkling the smallest art stones now, and I will tap a little bit so they will stick. Sorry, tapping too much, a little bit too hard. Okay, now I'm trying to tap that off my best. So you can see we are very close to the adding the color stage, but because it's very wet project now, I have to dry it a bit with the heat gun to keep it safe. Okay. So yeah, sorry. Let's hope it's dry enough. Mica flakes and mica powders. Okay. I keep reading your ideas in the meantime. Okay, should be fine. So now we can do two things. If you like everything on your project, because the colors are just great, I managed to pick the elements which are very neutral. You don't really have to put gesso and anything. You can just go as it is, and just remember, if you are working on the absorbing surfaces such as paper flowers, they're going to get stronger colors. But if there are things you don't like, you can now take a bit of the gesso and gesso the embellishments that you would like to change, because we are going to add a color on the top of that. So it's really up to you. I don't really have elements I would like to repaint. I like the color of the shells, and I'm planning to do shades of brown and maybe a touch of red this time. So let me show you how it works. We have to go from here to here. There are some things you can use. One of the easiest things would be, of course, using sprays, but it's hard to be precise with the spray. But if you don't have the spray, you can easily use acrylic paints the same way as you are using sprays. You're just going to be a little bit more precise with application. Other thing, especially if you love your vintage projects, is using the tea stain, and you can put it in the sprayer like I'm doing, and you can spray it in some places of your project, or you can just use the tea bags and then sprinkle that on the top of your of your project. So if you're spraying, you can see it's going to give you this lovely golden brown color. It's just natural color of the vintage paper. If you are using your tea bag, it's maybe a little bit more random, but it creates lovely splatters, right? That's why I told you it's important to dry a bit before you're doing that. If you're planning to add the acrylics and you would like to make them look a little bit more like watercolors, well, you need a spray bottle on hand. And as you can see on this project, I was mostly using these two shades. I was using blue and this deep waters blue and emerald green. But this time I would like to do something different, and I'm going to use a bit of royal red. These paints, they are all from the set that comes in medieval kit, and you can get it at Michael's in the kit like this. So we've got royal red, emerald green and deep waters blue as a kit, or you can buy them in single jars in other countries also. And now, of course, you can dry in between, or you can just like me be a little bit more adventurous and take tiny bit of paint, really tiny bit of paint, and add that into desired places and add water, because it's going to go really long way, right? So now you can just let the colors drip a bit. Okay, I think I need a little bit more here for extra balance, and tiny bit more here. Oh. Well, it's soaking wet, but it doesn't matter. It's going to work. Yep. So this way we are getting like almost like watercolor effect using metallic paints or any other acrylic paint that will work in a similar way. And well, the last step is adding finishing touches, including the photo. So let me dry it again a little bit. I will explain what I'm trying to I apply the paint in groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, right? So it creates a focal point in here. So the composition is close with the red. If you feel you want a little bit more of something random, you can also add splatters. Yeah, I'm taking my paint here on the side. Yeah, a tiny bit of water, so it's not going to be so sticky, because acrylic paint it is. And for extra artistic touches, just dripping and splattering. Very nice effect, and it's more dynamic now. And very simple. Like, if you're afraid of using colors, try to limit your colors. Don't use too many at the same time. Start with 2 or 3 and try thinking about triangles. Okay, we can add the last element, and this is going to be the photo. Let's just make sure the elements are more or less in place. This is very wet, so of course naturally I would be suggesting to dry project in between a little bit, so it's not so soaking wet, but we are doing the live show, so we have to cheat a little bit. Now fluffing the lace, the thread a bit, yes, for extra beauty. And now let's see, the photo goes here, yeah, but it has to go a little bit more up, so, you know, 1 more layer of cardboard. It's number 3, so we have already 3 layers of cardboard here, and the photo will go on the top of that easily. Yep, so we can use, for example, tape runners or anything else you like to use for gluing. Try not to make the photo dirty in the meantime. I'm using the tape runner like this to put the photo in the right place. Ready? Now you have the space to put some nice sentiment, or you can look at the finishing touches. You can maybe put some pins for extra effects, because why not? Because everybody likes the extra finishing touches, I think. And this goes really nicely with this girly photo. They're just girls here. I really believe they were just amazing family. I would love to know who they are. But I bought this album on the flea market, and I don't think I have a chance to really learn who they are, which is a shame, of course. And maybe a nice rusty paper clip. Of course, paper clips are always nice. So let me put it together for you again. Okay. The one on the top, the one on the bottom, the same family. So I have 2 elements already. I just need 1 more to create the banner. So again, we were using gesso, heavy gesso, to prime the canvas that we took from the Prima book, which is available at Michael's now. This is canvas book. So that was a bit of that. Next step, it was using modeling paste and a stencil to create the textures in the background. Next step is going to be adding embellishments and layers of paper and lace using modeling paste as your adhesive. So building all the layers. Remember that we need some extra volume, so you can put some 3D foams, or possibly just simply cardboard in between. When the embellishments are in place, you are able to add art stones and mini art stones, right? And finally, after drying, you may need to prime something with gesso for extra white color, but if not, you can add your acrylic paints together with the vintage color. For example, tea stain from the tea bags. So that was the whole idea here. It is really nice technique for creating something with the vintage feel. And I love these techniques, to be honest. I use them a lot in my art journaling, and I use them a lot to create home decor. And you can see the combination of embellishments may be really nice, even if you're using a mix of girly and not so girly embellishments together. Just to remind you, if you would like to see more of the tutorials, you would just need to check two places. One is finnabair@michaels.com, the website with amazing amount of simple steps, tutorials and videos, and it's all waiting for you. And you will find videos, you will find nice little tutorials you can pin on your Pinterest page. And of course, also information about the product, which is now available at Michaels, and this week is 40% off. The second website, and I think Sharon is going to drop you links, is of course finnabair.com. That is my website where we have beautiful tutorials twice a week. My design team is working for you all the time for, well, probably 3 years now. So it's a lot of amazing tutorials. And if you would like to check more of the information, there will be sections with videos and sections with the product information as well. So that is the places to go. You can of course follow us all on Facebook and on Instagram. Prima Marketing has beautiful account and beautiful blog with a lot of inspiration. The same for me. I have two accounts on Instagram. One is Finnabair Studio, where we put all together the projects from me design team and from our fans, and my private one, which is just Finnabair. And if you're going to check us out, please don't forget to subscribe, and it's going to be much easier to get updates from us. So just last closer look at the final project. This was the one I made for you as an example. So you can see similar set of techniques. It's very dimensional, right? And then this is the one we made together. It's very wet, so I have to be careful. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for watching. So we can quite quickly build something super dimensional and vintage using sets of the products that are available at Michaels and in the local craft stores all over the world. I just try to say goodbye now to you. Yes, thank you so much for your patience. And I hope there was no freezing this time, and there was really smooth internet connection from Ireland, because as you know, it may not be that way. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to beautiful and my best friend Sharon. She's just gorgeous. She's helping me all the time with answering your questions. And I hope to see you next week, because there will be surely one more Facebook Live. And I heard that you like Mixed Media Minutes. I heard you'd like to see a bit more about rust paste and sculpture medium. I'm going to read through your comments and see what were the most voted topics to look into. Thank you so much, and I'm so happy to see so many friends, and thank you so much for joining me. And you know, it's huge encouragement if you're coming and saying such nice things. So love you all, and you are the most amazing people, and all of you, you make my you make my life possible, because I love to create and I love to be here with you, and because of you I'm able to do that. So give some love to my design team also from time to time, because they're working very hard thinking about you all. Give some love to Prima people who are trying to do their best, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed, and love you all.